What's going on, guys? We got a good one for you today. Conditioning workout, fight gone bad style workout. We have 5 movements. We're going to work for 1 minute per station. Going to complete as many reps as possible in that minute of that movement. Move right into the next movement, so on and so forth. 5 movements, then we get to rest 1 minute. We're going to do that 3 rounds. So 3 rounds of 5 minutes of work, 1 minute of rest. We're going to start out the round with 1 minute of plate get-ups. We're going to move right into double unders. Then we're going to go back to the plate for burpees to plate. Then you pick up your rope again. We're going to do speed steps, fast steps for 1 minute. And the last minute of the round, we're going to do plate ground overhead. The RX weight for the ladies is a 25-pound plate. RX for the guys is a 45-pound plate. The idea here is for you guys to work hard for every one of those minutes to try and get as many reps as possible of each one of those movements. Give it your all, and then we're going to rest for 1 minute. Round 2, going to try and match or even beat that. Hold yourself to a high standard of hard movement. Let's talk about the movements. Plate get up. This is kind of a tricky one. You're going to begin on your back with your arms fully extended. The plate is touching the ground above your head or behind your head. Now you're going to pull that plate up into your front position, and as you pull it up, you're going to try and stop that momentum, but that plate's going to have a momentum, so it's going to continue. It's going to help you lift up. You're going to roll up onto your feet, and then we're going to stand up, use your hips a little bit for a drive, and then throw that plate overhead. It's like a clean and jerk. Now you got to go back down. So we're going to lower that plate back down, start to get into your squat, hold that plate out front for a little bit of counterbalance, and ease yourself back down onto your butt. Roll back onto your back, taking the plate over your head and touch the ground behind your head again. The rep is complete when you are standing up and your elbows are locked out. All right, let's talk about the double under. The double under, the rope goes under your feet twice every time you jump once. A couple of things to think about in the double under is controlling your breathing. Try to get into a good cadence of breathing. Maybe 3 or 4 jumps, you're breathing in, and then those same 3 or 4 jumps you're breathing out, and try to control your breath, and nice and slow controlled breath. That'll help control your heart rate. Another thing to keep in mind, relaxed arms. This is all about the wrist, not a giant elbow movement. Relaxed arms, this is all in the wrist. So just a flick of the wrist, and your jump should not be crazy either. Just jump, rebound off the balls of your foot, point your toes to the ground. We're not looking for a big kick back like a donkey kick or a big bent knee. That rope's going to hit the ground underneath your feet. All you have to do is get off the ground just a few inches. Timing is everything. The double unders will make you or break you. We'll talk about the burpee to the plate. Get your chest to the ground. So kick both of your feet back, kick both of your feet forward, and then jump both of your feet at the same time up to the plate, where your feet land at the same time on the plate. That is a complete rep. And then to continue, jump back off the plate, kick back, kick forward, jump up onto the plate. Burpee to plate. Speed steps. Running in place with the jump rope. You're going to count a rep every time your right foot hits the ground. Don't count the left foot, only the right foot. As many right foot strikes as you can get in that minute. And then the plate to overhead. This is like a clean and jerk. We're going to touch the ground with the plate. Nice, strong, flat back. As you're raising your shoulders, drive the hips forward. Try to use that hip momentum and the shrug in your shoulders to drive that weight up overhead. And then press. Bring it back down, touch the ground, drive it overhead as many times as possible in that minute. After we complete that minute, we get to rest for 1 minute. We're going to do 3 rounds of that. So let's talk about scales. Plate get-ups. This is a tricky one, as I mentioned. If you are unable to do this, you can do a sit-up with that plate. Touch the plate behind your head, sit up, and then press. Press that plate over your head in the sitting position. You can also scale this back to just a weighted sit-up with the plate and no pressing overhead if you have any kind of shoulder injury. And you could also scale this back to just regular old sit-ups for double unders. If you struggle at double unders, but you can get a few, practice double unders. Just count your double unders. Okay? If you get 5 in that minute, okay, that was a minute of practice of double unders. When are you going to get better at double unders if you don't practice, right? So just try that for a minute. If you're just not getting any double unders, do single unders. Count your singles. For the burpee to plate, you can scale this by stepping back, stepping forward, stepping up onto the plate. If you need to do an elevated target, your hands on a box or a chair, you can do your burpee that way. Step back, do your push up, step forward, and then jump up to a plate or step up to a plate. Speed steps. Scaling the speed step. Just go slow. Try to run in place. Give it, just like the double under, give it a minute of practice. Timing is everything. Coordination is everything. Coordination is huge. Practice that for a minute. And for the plate ground to overhead. For the plate ground to overhead, a good scale would be a lighter weight ground to overhead. Single arm dumbbell movement, ground to overhead. Kettlebell, whatever you've got. You could even scale this down to touch your toes, touch your hips, touch the sky. All right, guys. 3 rounds, 1 minute at each station, 5 movements, 1 minute rest. Get after it.